Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat, priest officer of the thousands of Rock, Yahweh, and the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. About to go ahead and start off with the Sabbath service. All right. La Yasha Allah, which means to Israel. We'll go ahead into the prayers. Which means to face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Ayah, Ashah, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemayim, Lathamanawa, Lakam, Tal, Yabam, Wasalat Lanawa, Kabawap Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kabawap Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabia'ah Nawa, Banasan of one. Abor, Awashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kayat, Laka, Amalagwa, Waha'ala, Wata'apura, La'awalamyam, Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Akash, the power, in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Babukashah, Nathananawa, Akash, Lara Ba'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Marubah, Akash, Latahar, Amatazaria, Akash, Lahagwayam, Hamathiam, Akash, Arakawa, Hatama Allah, Lagar Sham, Bahashem Yahushua, the water Aman. Catch the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh, thank you. So be it. Bless Israel. In Hebrew, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Barak Lanoah, Wayasha Allah, Wahabaya, Saparia, Barak, Rapah, Magun, Hagun, the generals, captains, officers, troopers, students, sisters, children, and all Yasha Allah, Bahashim Yahushua, the water Aman. Bless Israel in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect the generals, captains, officers, troopers, students, sisters, children, and all Israel in the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hahariya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Ashah, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shemaka, Hana, La'a, Yarawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahawa, Shamaka, Yahawa, Tazarka, Al Ya, Yamyanka, Yawamar, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bayayala, Yahawa, Yashamaka, Makara, Yashamar, Abnapashka, Yahawa, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wabu'athka, Ma'athai, Wa'ai Awalam. Psalms 121 in English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayam, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Dakaraj, Wa-Al-Dashakwat, Al-Kaya, Hana, Al-Yabyaka, Yahamayakwan, Ra'ash, Al-Aimaka, Ya'ayram Yamwa, Sawadah, Wayataya Atazawa, Atazapawanyaka, Amaru, Lakawa, Manakaikudu, Magori, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shamya Sha'ala, Awada, Kaya, Nawa Atazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Barya, Yakarakwa, Alahaya, Arawan, Wayashamai, Alahaya, Mawa'aba, Wahagaya, Gabor, Wa'amwa, Wa'amalak, Halasha, Am Yeshabi, Tazawo, Gam Ashawo, Lalawa, Aimar, Hayawa, Zarawa, Labani Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasayasara'a, Kayabyan, Badakor, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayundara'a, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamu, Nadiyatmawa, Ka'ira, Wakaza'aba, Wakazaba, Wakazazor, Mana'ai, Kamnasa Yakamu, Ashar, Amor, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Na'awa, Alahaya, it's like Alahaya, Shayathamu, Kagabula, Kakwash, the Payarawa, Ka'ash, Taba'ira Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Talaha, Harayam, Kanta Dapna, Basa Erica, Wabasa, Wapaka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Aya'ai, Wayakaporo, Wayabadwa, Wayada'abwa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Iowa, Alkahar Rataza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumble, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head, and taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consorted against thy humans, and said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they are consorted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of the Moabs, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also had joined with them, and hope the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisir, as to Japheth, at the brook of Kizon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, making their nobles like a red, and like Z. Yea, all the princes as Z, and as Zalmunna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession, or Yahweh make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burning wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So, Yeshabi, it was mean to be seated. right, so we're going to be starting from the book of Genesis, the 40th chapter. Actually, Genesis, the 41st chapter. We're going to be starting at verse 40.
This is Genesis chapter 44, starting at verse 4.
Chapter 41.
Chapter 41, starting at verse 40. Atha. Tahayaha. Al. Bayathaha. Wa Allah. Payak. Yatakwa. Kala. Amaya. Rakwa. Haksaha. Agadol. Mamak. Verse 41. Waya Hamar. Pariah. Al. Yawasap. Raha. Naftha. Ashak. Al. Kala. Arataza. Mataza, Rayam. Verse 42. Wayasar. Pariah. Oth. Taba'atha Wa. Mala. Yadawa. Wayashan. Athaha. Al. Yada. Yawasap. Wayalabath. Wayalabash, Athwa, Bagadaya, Shasha, Wayashim, Wayashima, Rabad, Hazahab, Al, Tazuwa, Raya. Verse 43. Raya Rakar, Ashawa, Bamarak, Bath, Hamshan Ha, Ashar, Lawa, Wayaquara, Wayaquaraya, Lapanya, Abarak, Yanshana, Yanshayan, Athya, Qual, Arataza, Mataza, Rayum. Verse 44. Wayahamar, Pariah, Al, Yawasak, Anya, Wayasak, Anya, Pariah, Wabala I, Dayak, La'ah, Yarium, Ayesha, Ath, Yerwa. Verse 45. Wayaquar, Wayakara, Pariah, Shum, Yawasap, Tazapanath, Payanai, Naya, Wayakna, Lawa, Ath, I, Sath, Path, Bath, Pawataza, Pariah, Kahan, An, La'atha, Yawasap, Al, Arataza, Mataza, Rayum. Verse 46. Wayawa Sap, Ban, Thalathayam, Thunha, Bimadadia, Bamadawa, Lapunya, Pariah, Malak, Mataza, Rayum, Wayatazaha, Yawasap, Malapanya, Pariah, Wayaraba, Bakal, Arataza, Mataza, Rayum, and that's up to verse 47 in the Hebrew.
Most High in Christ, let's go ahead and get it in English.
This is Genesis chapter 41, starting at verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy words shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you.
Greater than thou.
Greater than thou.
Make sure you reading everything that you see. All right, this right here, this is Pharaoh giving, basically, you know what I'm saying, Pharaoh giving Joseph, you know, authority in the land of Egypt, right? Keep going.
Verse 42, 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
Read.
And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand.
Put it upon Joseph. Yeah, make sure you slow down when you read.
And Pharaoh took his ring off his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck.
So he gave him, you know what I'm saying, his ring, Gave him, fine linen and gold chains around his neck. You know what I'm saying? Like he's blessing him because of how the Most High used Joseph. The Lord used Joseph by what? Interpreting dreams. Okay? And that's a real powerful thing. Keep going.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and had carried him before him.
And they cried.
And they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him ruler over the land of Egypt.
So he made him the ruler over the land of Egypt. He's getting the best, you know what I'm saying? He's getting a high seat in that city. You know what I'm saying? He has power now. Joseph is powerful in the land of Egypt. You understand? Because Pharaoh had gave it to him. Really, this is the Most High being with Joseph in that land. You got to remember, Joseph was a captive. You know what I mean? He was a slave at first. You understand? The Lord was with him. And the Lord set him over Egypt. Okay, keep going.
Verse 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt.
Keep going.
And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath Paneah, and he gave him a wife.
Gave him two wives.
And he gave him.
Slow it down when you read.
And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt.
All right, keep going.
And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before.
Slow it down when you read.
And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt.
All right, keep going.
And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls.
So in the 7 plenteous years, the earth was bringing forth, you know what I'm saying, a lot of goods. A lot of things was running real smooth the last 7 years, just like how he prophesied that would happen. All right. We're going to get the rest. We're going to go ahead back into the Hebrew.
Verse 48 in the Hebrew. Wayaqwabataza, Ath, Qual, Akala, Shabai, Shanyam, Ashar, Hayawa, Ba'arataza, Mataza Rayum, Wayathan, Akor, Ba'arayum, Akor, Shadaha, Ha'ayar, Ashar. Verse 49. Wayataza Bar Yawasap Bar Kakayal Rayam, Harabaha, Ma'ad, Ayad, Kaya, Kador. Verse 50. Wa'ila Wasap, Yalad, Shun, Bunyam, Bataram, Tabaya, Tabawa, Shanaf, Hara'ab, Ashar, Yaladaha. Verse 51. Why Wakwar, Wayasap, Yawasap, Af, Shem, Habakayar, Manashaha, Kaya, Nashanaha, Alahayim, Af, Ko, Amalaya, Wa'af, Ko. Verse 52. Wayaf, Shema, Hashanha, Korah, Aparayim. Verse 53. Wath Kwa Yana, Shabai, Shana, Hashabai, Ashar, Hayaha, Ba'arataza, Mataza, Rayam. Verse 54. Watalai, Yana, Abai, Shabai, Shun, Shana, Arahab, Labawa, Kashar, Amar, Yawasap, Wayahaya, Ra'ad, Bakala, Ha'aratazayah, Ha'aratazawaf, Bapakal, Habrataza, Mataza, Rayam, Hayaha, become. That's up to verse 55 in the Hebrew.
All right, let's go ahead and get that in English.
Verse 48 in the English. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up for food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same.
So this is what he did. Joseph started storing food because he understood that this prophecy was going to come. There was going to be a big old famine in the land. Matter of fact, throughout the whole entire earth, he understood that it was going to be a huge famine. So what did he start to do early? He started to store food and keep storing lots and lots and lots of food, man. Just like how, you know what I'm saying, what's going on now. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now, storing food. Collecting a lot of food, man, because guess what? It's going to be a huge famine throughout this earth right now because we're going through a third world war right now. All right, keep going.
And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number.
He gathered so much corn, man, it was just like the sand of the sea. You know what I mean? You can't count or number the sand of the sea because it's so much. And that's how much corn the brother gathered. He gathered so much corn that, you know what I'm saying, it was without number. Meaning what? You don't even know how much this is. It's so much of abundance, right? Keep going.
And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Farah, priest of On, bare unto him.
Alright, so this right here is Joseph having 2 sons. You know what I mean? We're going to get into all that too. But this right here is when it speaks on him bearing children. Now he has 2 sons. Keep going.
And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh.
Firstborn, his son, his very firstborn son was Manasseh. Alright, Manasseh is the so-called Cubans. Okay, keep going.
For God said, he that made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second he called Ephraim.
And his second son was named Ephraim. Okay, and who was Ephraim? In modern times, Ephraim is the Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans that you see today, those are Ephraimites according to the Bible. They're from the tribe of Ephraim. Okay, keep going.
For God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction.
The Lord caused them to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. That right there is Joseph. Joseph, man, was able to be fruitful in the land of his affliction. Why was that the land of his affliction? Because he was brought there as a slave in the first place. He was brought there to be serving, you know what I mean? He was sold off into slavery in that land. You understand? How is it a slave go up and now all of a sudden have a lot of power in the land of Egypt? The Lord was with him. You know what I'm saying? That was supposed to be an afflicting state for him. The Lord, throughout his affliction, made him ruler over that city. All right, keep going.
And the 7 years of plentiness that was in the land of Egypt were ended.
Now, those 7 years that, you know what I'm saying, when they say a plentiness, meaning what? It was a lot of food in the store, you know what I mean? It was a lot of food. Everything was running very smooth, like a smooth boil machine. It ended, right? Keep going.
And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said.
Now the 7 years of dearth was about to come. The 7 years of dearth, what do dearth mean? Well, no, let's go ahead and look it up. I'm going to look up dearth, right? The dearth definition means a scarcity, a lack of something. So this is what it's talking about. When it says, read it again.
And the 7 years of dearth began to come.
The 7 years of the lacking, you know what I'm saying, or scarcity was coming. And what was so scarce at that time? Food. It's about to be a huge famine. And then it came actually, right? And it's good that Joseph understood these prophecies because guess what? He was able to prepare himself for these times. He was able to prepare himself and store food, man, and do the right things. This is why he got so much power. Joseph got so much power, man, because he understood, getting power over this food right here, he was able to store these goods and store them, man, and be prepared for the times of dearth when it comes. Right? Keep going.
And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread.
You skip. Go back to 54 and reread that.
Verse 54. And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was in all the land. But in all the land of Egypt there was bread.
All right. All the land of Egypt there was bread. Why was there bread in Egypt when there was a big famine going on in the earth? Because Joseph did the right things, man. Joseph prepared for these times when a famine did actually hit. All right, keep going.
And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread.
The people cried to Pharaoh for bread, man. When all the land became famished and a lot of famine was hitting, you know what I'm saying, lack of food, lack of bread, lack of resources, they cried unto Pharaoh. And you're going to see what Pharaoh say about this, right? Keep going.
And Pharaoh said unto the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph. What he say to you, do.
That's what he said to them. He said, man, go to Joseph. All right, y'all crying to me for bread, go to Joseph right here. He'll know what to do. He know how to get y'all straight. Right? Keep going.
And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened...
Is it to 55?
It's the last two in this chapter.
No, I'm saying, did you stop at 55 in Hebrew? All right, let's go ahead. Let's get the other verses in the Hebrew.
Verse 55 in the Hebrew. Watharahaya, Hayab, Kala, Arataza, Mataza Rayam, Wayataza Aqua, Hayam, Al, Pariah, Lalakam, Wayahamar, Pariah, Lakal, Mataza Rayam, Lakwa, Al, Yawasap, Ashar, Akam, Talasha. Verse 56. Af, Cal, Ashar, Baham, Wayashabar, Lamataza Rayam, Baharataza, Mataza Rayam, verse 57. Wakal, Ha'arataza Ba'awa, Mataza Ra Ma, Washabar, Al, Yawasap, Kaya, Hazakwa. Hara'ad. Verse chapter 42, verse 1. Wayaraha, Wayaquab, Yaiquab, Kaya, Yath, Yash, Shabar, Bamataza Rayum, Wayamar, Yaiquab, verse 2. Wayamar, Hanaha, Shemathiah, Kaya, Yash, Shabar, Bamataza Yum, Radawa, Shema, verse 3. Wayaradia, Hakaya, Yawasap, Ashara, Mamataza Rayum, verse 4. Wa'ath, Bayum, Ahaya, Yawasap, La'ah, Shalak, Yaiquab, Ath, Ahayawa, Kaya, Amar, Pun, Yaquara Nawa, Asawan, That's up to verse 5 in the Hebrew.
All right, Most High Christ, let's go ahead and get it in English.
It's verse 55 in the English. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto the Egyptians, go unto Joseph, verse 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth.
That's where it was, man. All this famine that was happening, it not only happened in Egypt, it also happened all over the earth, all over the world, right? Keep going.
And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians.
And that's what Joseph, when it was saying he was laying up this food, he was laying up all that, he was putting all these foods and stuff like that and all these goods in storehouses. You know what I'm saying? For times like this. Now he was able to make a ton of money, man. He was making a ton of money doing what? Selling food to the Egyptians and everybody else who needed food and who was lacking of resources at that time. All right, it got real scarce around that time, very scarce. All right, keep going.
And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all the countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands.
That's what it was, man. That's what all the countries, man, all the countries of the earth was, guess what? They was coming to Egypt. It was coming to Egypt, man, to get that food and buy food from Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Just like in the same type of way how all these other different countries came to America for goods. China was doing business with America, and all these other countries, what they do, come to America for what? For better opportunities, right? This was the same thing, man, almost like, right? All these different countries was coming to Egypt, man, to get their resources and their food because they was lacking it. Okay, keep going.
This is chapter 42, verse 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do you look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die.
And that's what he said, man. Jacob looked and said, man, what is y'all waiting on? Y'all need to be getting down there in Egypt and buying up corn, man, that we may live and not die. Right? Keep going.
And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob, sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him.
All right, so 10 of the brothers, man, went down there to Egypt to buy, corn and goods, food, all that down there in Egypt. Little do they know they're going to run into their little brother that they threw off in slavery. They're not even going to know that this is Joseph. They're not even going to understand it. All right, keep going.
And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, and the famine was in the land of Canaan.
That it?
That's it.
All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to close this one out. All right, we're going to resume next week. All right. Amadio. Yum, salt. Some oil, salt.
La Yasharala.
Just clean that when we're done, all right? Done, which means to face the east. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Dash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Taba'ah, Artazaka, Ayah, Ashah, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Ayah, Shemayah, Ladonanawa, Lakam, Kab, Yawam, Masalakanawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafyanawa, Wala'ah, Tabia'anawa, Manasana one, Abor, Abashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Maha'ala, Wata'apura, La'awalamya, Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and glory, forever. So be it. Because the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua, Barakashah, Nathanawa, Akash, Lapa'ah, Kamakala, Kakamarawa, Akash, Latahar, Matazaya, Akash, Lahakwaya, Hamadri, Akash, Arakawa, Hatama'ala, Bagarshah, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Kawad because the power in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Barak Noah. Wayasha'ala. Wahabaya. Sapari. Rock. Rapah. Magud. Generals. Captains. Officers. Troopers. Students. Sisters. Children. All Yasha'ala. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Kawad. Bless Israel in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Bless us. And Israel. In the school. Bless him, shield, protect. Generals. Captains. Officers. Troopers. Students. Sisters. Children. All Israel. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ahahaya. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah, Ma'an, Yahweh, Rashah, Shemayah, Wa'aratazah, Ayathan, Namawah, Regaka, Yanawam, Shemarka, Hanah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashur, Shawamah, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Hawiyah, Yamyaka, Yawamah, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Wayayah, Yahweh, Yashamaka, Makara, Yashamah, Abnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamah, Taza'afta, Wabu'afta, Ma'atha, Wa'ai Awalam. Psalms 121 in English, I will lift up my eyes to the hill. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh thy keeper. Yahweh thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee. More evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
observe thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
This time forth,
This time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in Hebrew, Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Aldama Yalaka,
Aldama Yalaka,
Alta Karaj,
Alta Karash,
Alta Shakwa,
Alta Karash,
Al, Kaya,
Kaya,
Pana,
Pana,
Awayadika,
Yamika,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Alamika,
Alhamika,
Ya'irum Yumwa,
Ya'irum Yumwa,
Sawadah,
Sawadah,
Wayataya Atazwa,
Wayataya Atazwa,
Altaza Pawanyaka,
Altaza Pawanyaka,
Amara,
Amara,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakida,
Wanakakida,
Magari,
Magari,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazikar,
Yazikar,
Shem Yasha'ala,
Shem Yasha'ala,
Awadah,
Awadah,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawatazwa,
Nawatazwa,
Labah,
Labah,
Yakabwa,
Yakabwa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Waya,
Waya,
Yakarakwa,
Yakarakwa,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashima,
Wayashima,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Mawa'abu,
Abu,
Wahagaya,
Wahagari,
the ball,
Ball,
Ma'amawan,
Amawan,
Ma'amalah,
Ma'amalah,
Palashah,
Palashah,
Nam Yashabia,
Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Aiman,
Aiman,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawat,
Zarawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Abani Lawat,
Salat,
Salat,
Rashad,
Rashad,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadia,
Kamadia,
Kasayasara'at,
Kasayasara'at,
Kiyabia,
Kiyab,
Badakor,
Badakor,
Koyashma,
Koyashma,
Rashamadwa,
Rashamad,
Ba'ayanda Ra'at,
Bayaganda,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adamu,
La'adamu,
Shayatamu,
Shayatamu,
Nadayatmawa,
Yadamawa,
Kaira,
Kaira,
Wakaza'awa,
Wakazawa,
Wakazabat,
Wakazabat,
Wakatazor,
Wakatazor,
Mana'at,
Mana'at,
Kalnasi Yakumbo,
Kalnasi Yakumbo,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amar,
Amar,
Naya Rashad,
Naya Rashad,
Nanawa,
Nanawa,
Na'awa,
Nanawa,
Alahaya,
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 Shayatamu,
Shayatamu,
Kagardner,
Kagardner,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Pioneer,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Sabaira Ya'ira,
Ira,
Wakalahaba,
Wakalahaba,
Dalaha,
Dalaha,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Kanthir Daka,
Kanthir Daka,
Basairika,
Basairika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapatka,
Pada,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Balawan,
Balawan,
Wayabakwasha,
Wayabakwasha,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashua,
Yabash,
Wayabahold,
Wayabahold,
Ayahai,
Ayahai,
Wayakapara,
Wayakapara,
Wayabah,
Wayabah,
Wayada'adu,
Wayada'adu,
Kayatha,
Kayatha,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Alcohol Ratazah.
Alcohol, Ratazah,
Psalm 83 in English. Keep not thy silence.
keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
hold not thy peace.
hold not thy peace,
Be not still.
be not still,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
for lo,
lo,
thy enemies make a tumble.
thy enemies make a tumult,
They that hate thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head,
They have taken crafty
they
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people
against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against thy hidden
They have
ones.
said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them
let
off
us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
In the name of Yahshua,
In the name of Yahshua,
may be no more remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
They are consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab and
Moab
the Hagarenes,
and Hagarenes,
the Baal
Baal
and Ammon
and
and Amalek
and Amalek,
and Philistines,
Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They
Lot.
have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the
as
Midianites,
unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jephthah,
as to Japheth,
at the brook of Kaiser,
at the brook of Kaiser,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
Became the dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Z.
and like Z.
Yea,
Yea,
are their princes,
all the princes,
as Zebah,
as Zebah,
and as Zalmunna,
as Zalmunna,
who said,
who said,
let us take to
let
ourselves
us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the fire burning wood.
As the fire burning wood.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
Make them afraid.
Make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
And they may seek thy name.
And they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
In trouble.
In trouble.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Of the Most High.
Are the Most High.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So. Would anybody like to get anointed? If not, we're going to go ahead and close out the Sabbath service. B'nai Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah, Yajim Matzah, dismissed.